Hello guys, and welcome back to Age of Conan with the BANTO. Today we're playing as a Dark Templar and we'll do the dungeon called Reliquary of Flame Hardmode. So let's start this dungeon by putting the scrolls on the fire and lit it with that little flint. We actually forgot one guy outside when we start this dungeon, so it's gonna be a 5-man, so we missed one of our DPSs, but we are probably gonna be fine anyway. So the first thing, like I said in previous episodes of this dungeon with another character, you have to take down all these adds first, and after that there will come some harder adds and we're gonna move them together. That's why I'm running over to him and grabbing him and moving him to the other tank. Because it's a lot easier if you move them together. Even if you're not a mage, which will cast a lot of AoE, you will still be able to hit them at the same time, so that's really great, and it's gonna go faster. It's very much more efficient than going after just one guy. So now we're just gonna wait in. The last Addons is coming over to us. I'm gonna kill him. He's the guy that's gonna give us the oil. So it's pretty easy, like I said before in this dungeon. Is get down his Addons before we're gonna start the hard mode boss. I'm doing this dungeon again as the Dark Templar to show the tanking role of this dungeon. And this dungeon actually requires some gear for the tanks, and it's very important that when you're playing that you try to get a good aggro swapping between the two tanks in the game. Because if you don't, it can get pretty screwed up and you will most likely die. Also at every 25% health, the rogues and everybody else has to run over to the pillars and hide, and now the boss is coming, and the rogues has to be very careful to use the finally owned against the boss, because if they don't do it when he's casting the burning skin, we're gonna kill ourselves. So it's very important for rogues to have that AA perk called finally owned. So now we're just gonna keep getting down, try to switch some aggro between me and the Conqueror. It can get pretty hard between my Dark Templar and that Conqueror, because that Conqueror that is in the team, he has really great gear. He has like full epic Kitai gear, and I'm being like some tier 1 mixed with some other gear, and I haven't really played my Dark Templar in a long while, but I'm gonna try my best. I got my little helper there which spends the aggro with me. It's really great with the Dark Templar to spawn him, so he can take some aggro while you're getting low on health, but I didn't use it so good right there, to be honest. This dungeon is pretty easy, so every 25% health, very soon we're just gonna run over to the pillars, hide behind them, and wait the fire on the floor to get removed. And after that we're gonna go to the flames and get some sand. And since there are some squishing team, if they're not able to get a sand and put it on flame, it's very good if 1 or 2 tanks can get 1 extra sand. So that's something we'll see when it's going on, and it's also very good, like see now, some DPSs picks up their sand and I'm waiting as a tank for them to get them, because when I get a sand, I will actually get the aggro as well. So it's really great to wait for the DPSs to get them. It's really great if you can time it between the left and right sides with the sands, because then the boss have to run even more. But now we start in battle again. Very important, remove burning skin with finally owned and keep DPSing him. And since we are missing one of our DPSs, if you just have one rogue that's gonna remove finally owned, the DPS might be too slow, and every time that he casts burning skin, the cooldown on his burning skin is decreased for every time. So if the battle will go on for too long, you might need to guide him around a little bit or something if it's too little DPS. And our DPS is right outside of here because we forgot him. He was right outside the door. Now we need him to rest. Dirty Harry is lying on the ground. Rogues are very important, but we got 2 rogues in this group, so even if we lose one rogue, we're still capable of fighting this boss anyway. And since we got a Conqueror, we can actually get some combat rests, which is really great. That's one really good thing about just the Conqueror. He's awesome because he can do, when you're in battle, he can actually rest the wounded and get them up, and it can really make a huge difference. It can be between a wipe and a win. Just trying to get him down, using my Dread Shadow there. Pretty bad use of it, but because I haven't really played this in a long while, and when you're playing with other people that you're not used to playing with, it's kind of hard to know how's the aggro between each other, and it's very dependent on what gear do your friend have. Do we have like a lot better than you, like this Conqueror? And I know that the Conqueror, they get a lot of aggro with all of the hits, so, and since he have a really great gear, it can be a big problem if I don't have as good as gear as him. But I have Void of Madness, which should help me a bit. Oh, seems like we miss one sand. Maybe you can wait it out. Yeah, they waited it out, so now the burn is casting Burn Skin again. Remove it with Finally On and get back on the boss. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna make more episodes very soon. I'm gonna make more Dark Templar tank episodes as well, showing you some tanking parts of different dungeons, some questing as the Dark Templar. I'm gonna show more Barbarian content and definitely more Bear Shaman, which is my favorite class in this game so far. I think it's really awesome to play him. That's probably my favorite class in any game I ever played, to be honest. I really love to be a melee healer. It's really great. By the way, guys, I really love all the feedback I have been given in the Age of Conan forum and on the comments as well. It's really fun to make these episodes, but I've been quite away from this game during this summer, so... But they're gonna come a lot more. Okay, I'm gonna try to get some aggro now, else that Conqueror gonna die. That's the hard part about this dungeon. If you're not used to play to each other, it can be pretty nasty. See, he survived like 1k HP. That was very close. But I got him back. Okay, now our DPS got the aggro. Had to try get it back again. But I think the Dark Templar is a really fun class to play. You have a lot of lifesteal. You have some tools like the Dread Shadow. You can cast and regenerate 100% of the damage dealt in health, and that can be really great as well for tanking, because then you can use that like when he's fighting you or when he's attacking the other one and you're really low and maybe your Dread Shadow is on cooldown. You can start at one and regenerate a lot of health. But the best perk for the Dark Templar is definitely Void of Madness. It's so awesome. Every time you crit with the Dark Templar, you actually activate one of those bonus effects, and it will increase your spell damage and critical hits and all those nasty stuff. It's really great. The Dark Templar can actually be one of the most damage dealing classes in the game. But I personally wouldn't suggest going for Dark Templar, not with a random group anywhere, because since you are a soldier, you probably don't have enough minus in hate, and since you will be dealing so much damage, you're probably gonna ruin for the group. But I'm gonna leave that for the people who's actually got a lot of experience with playing as a DPS Dark Templar. But I mean, if they are dealing so much damage as a soldier in this dungeon and another Dark Templar's DPS, and I'm not dealing the same amount of damage and I have too little in my hate, then he might just steal my aggro all the time. That's gonna get pretty bad. But in my opinion, when you're playing a game like this, if you're rolling tank like the Dark Templar Guardian, you're not rolling it to play DPS. That's just kind of wrong. I felt like that before as well, like, okay, I'm a Guardian, I'm gonna use a polar arm, and maybe that's good in DPS. It would be pretty funny if it actually was possible, but I like that the tanks actually have the roles. Some new games that come out don't even have the roles, like Guild Wars 2. It don't seem to be any tank in that game, and I really hate that thing. It might sound good from the beginning, like, oh, the roles are free, do what you want, but that's kind of removing the role-playing part. But we are soon killing this boss. Pretty easy fight, right? So just to remember, 25% health of the boss, run to the pillars. And with casting Burn Skin, don't hit him, let the rogues remove Burn Skin with Finally Owned. And you will kill this boss as long as you can switch aggro between each other. See, I'm really low right now, but got him now. That's gonna go and destroy the chest after he is resting him. I always try to let him rest the people after, but this dude is attacking the chest, so we're just gonna kill it now. But as I've been talking about in previous episodes as well, this is the dungeon also. You get some of these symbols which you can use in Milestones quest and get some really awesome rings, and they can be useful for any class in this game. And since those like rings and necklaces can be a bit hard to find than your normal gear, because normal gear you can get inside here, like epic gear, or you can go to... yeah, you can go to these dungeons, or you can go to raids, and it's pretty easy to get some epic gear. Just like in 3 weeks you probably have a decent gear. Oh, that's nice! Wolf belt here, hope I win that one. Real great. I have some epic from the raiding so far, but yeah, it's great. And this coffer of radiance is also awesome. Some neat loot there. And there also is a blue chest here. So there we got one of those symbols I was talking about, symbol of the rabbit, and it's placeable in Northern Grasslands. And I will also post a link where you can find the milestones in this video. So if you're interested to see on a map where you can find all the milestones, where you're gonna place them all, just head in there and you can see all the location. I actually won this belt, awesome! That's really great, because I really need a critication for future episodes. But this is what it is for today, guys. Hope you had a great time. This is BANTO. Cheers and goodbye, my friends. And don't forget to tell your friends about BANTO. And here's a recap of the dungeon.